TikTok, the video. TikTok, the time runs out.
Stand up now or fade down.
TikTok, the time video. TikTok, the time runs out.
They lock us down, steal our rights, sell us dreams to dim the fight. Tell us wait, just trust the plan, while they take more from our hands. But we ain't sleeping, we ain't blind. We see the games, we read the signs. No more silence, no more shame. Get mad, get loud, ignite the flame. Get mad, get loud. Shake the ground, wake up the crowd. No retreat, no backing down. This is our fight. This is our sound.
TikTok, the time runs out. TikTok, the time radio. TikTok, the time runs out.
They push us back, say stay in line. Spin their words, rewrite our minds. But the louder we get, the stronger we stand. And we ain't done till we take back this land. They cage the truth, we tear the bars. They dim the light, we burn like stars. They stack the deck, but we rewrite fate. This ain't submission, this is rage awake. Get loud, shake the ground, wake up the crowd. No retreat, no backing down. This is our fight, this is our sound. Break free, break through, tear the walls. No more sleep, we take it all.
TikTok, the time runs out. TikTok, the time runs out. TikTok, the time runs out.
No more challenge, no more doubt. More doubt.
Hey. Welcome, everybody. My daughter's in there mocking me. That's kind of cute, actually. Man, it was a beautiful day here where we were at, and based off of the energies, I kind of slept all day, so I missed a lot of phone calls, and I do apologize to everybody. Still dealing with a very sore throat, but other than that, I feel good. When I get tired, it really gets to me, but I'm good. I'm here tonight. We're going to share with you what little bit we got, and because there's not a lot happening. It's just a political rerun, a different timeline, same message, right? We're going to do play whatever game we got to play to keep the system going as long as we can, instead of doing something about it, right? I mean, it's been months. It's been months since the Clearfield Doctrine has been passed around, and it really got out to a lot of the masses. Yet still, we see a lot of them people still operating, and committing fraud and crime against humanity. Not necessarily to our knowledge right now with human trafficking. We do see some of those people going down. There was a big story on a pastor in the Telegram chat earlier. Sheepdogs posted, and these evangelists there, all that stuff is coming out on them, and we still got mortgages being closed through what we know to be fraudulent contract, and those things are still going on. We still got sheriffs who are not following the Constitution, who won't stand in their power and serve the people. They're still serving the establishment. And guys, we're not doom and gloom. I mean, we hear all these things that are going on in that arena, with all the actors and actresses, including Trump. I'm not going to leave Trump out of it. He's one of them. All right. yeah, he ran it. He ran interference for us. That's a good thing. You know, I don't want to deny that. And he still may be doing some of that, but he's also keeping the establishment alive. You know, let's bring on the Republican. Let's get this thing started. But we do have a, I don't know how old this is. If it's a repost of another chop out of the video, but the Sheepdogs posted this earlier. It's part 4 of a public service announcement from Chief Pontiac. I'm going to play that here in a minute as soon as we get going. But he gets on. And, you know, to say the least, we still got the fake dollar running around with fake authority, fake power, right? Fake buying power. Excuse me. But, you know, I promise you, I'm positive. A lot of us are positive. We just have to stay positive, where we find the compassion to stand our ground, and stand up for our rights. You know, pick and choose your battles, right? But we all gotta get in the fight in the right way. Um, and we are. We absolutely are. We think it's just a few of us, but really it's a lot more than we know. And based off of us continuously doing that without violence and um, with knowledge that in natural law, that in cosmic law, that there is karma. Everybody that has an action that should meet justice will in fact meet justice, because every action, you know, everything returns to source, right, from which it came. We've learned that we're co-creators in all of this, and unless we help them create their scenario for the life that we've been living of lies, and the more we step into our own, the greater our joy and peace is, as we stand up and separate from it. With that being said, I want to say hello to the sheepdogs. How are y'all doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. It was beautiful here today in Texas. A little warm, but not too hot. There was a nice cool breeze. But yeah, it's really nice. I'm looking forward to planting some more things, some more herbs and some more vegetables. But I'm glad to be here.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. I don't want to overwhelm Mrs. Sheepdog, but guys, her tinctures are awesome. I got some from her. Several others have gotten some from her. You know, hit her up if you're looking to use tinctures instead of pharmaceuticals, and you know, enjoy a product that works. And is made with love to boot. Thank you, Mr. Sheepdog, for being there.
Thank you.
She told me not to do that. Mine. Don't say nothing about that. That's a lot. She's like, so she really does it to help people, but we encourage people to learn how to make them yourself as well.
Yes.
Right.
And to learn, and so you can pass that down. But if you need immediate help or any kind of something like that, you know, and you can't do all that, then yeah, feel free to hit her up. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, and we help one another, right? You get a product that helps you. You get a product that helps you, because we realize not everybody is geared toward making tinctures, right? But they, you know, they offer some other kind of value, right? And that's how it works. That's what makes the world go round. Everybody has a value of some kind that they discover that they're passionate about. Not only are they passionate about it, it's rooted in their DNA, right? You know, women and men are learning to pay attention to what their bodies are telling them, man, and in a big time way. And this includes the past training or programming, if you will, on how to serve and feed your body so that your soul is fed, is happening more and more every day. And it's always good to recognize what people have to offer and each other and work together on it.
But yeah, I think we need to build a small business directory as well. A lot of people are going to be needing to lean on each other moving forward, and it'd be great to find out who's all has a small business or something like that. So if you could DM me or Mrs. Sheepdog and let us know if you got something going on, let us know so that we can get the word out as well. But Mike, a lot happened today, man. You missed the whole damn Joe Biden speech.
Oh,
I'm glad I did.
You said that was pretty.
I didn't miss much.
That was earth shattering.
The circus must go on, right?
Fresh off his new CAA contract. So they roll the actor right back out there for you, you know. But it's his first speech since he's left office. I mean, pretended. We know that's not the real Biden, right? Just like we know that's not the real Trump. Trump gave me an excellent photo shot when him and the was it Salvador president were standing next to each other. The Salvador president was like 5'8". Trump was only a couple inches taller at 6 foot roughly. And you look at it, Trump is 6'4". So Trump shrunk 4 to 5 inches. But a good side by side to be able to tell you guys that that's just somebody wearing a mask. Just like the left thought that Joe Biden was the president for 4 years. Now the right thinks that Trump's the president for 4 years. So it's just been swapped until you wake up and realize it's this sort of shit.
Absolutely. And you have to recognize the truth is not going to come from them. It's going to come from you. It's going to come from each individual, right? Everybody's not going to have the same truth. Yeah, we'd love to see the Epstein files.
Are we going to? No. We've already seen what we're going to see of them.
I just look at the pictures.
Yeah. You know, it's all a ploy. It's all a distraction. It's all part of the script, right? As we continue to move into our own manifestation of our not only present time, the now time, but you know, again, those vibrations are created in the now, and they have effect on what comes to tomorrow in the future, right? Yep, it's the same with the Diddy stuff too. That's exactly right, Scott. I mean, they bloat it up, and it's a nothing burger.
Wiener laptop. Right? Remember all the New York cops?
Laptop. Yep, the insurance file.
Yep. 30,000 emails.
Yep.
Benghazi. 9/11 and 9/11. Don't forget building.
There's just so much, but yeah, we most of us know all that, right? Already.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. But so does the media.
Masses don't. Yeah.
Well, the masses are getting caught up in the entertainment to keep their heads up their asses, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's how they keep it. I was telling my wife today, I said, man, if I could be a dictator for one day, one thing I would do would be stop all entertainment, stop concerts, stop the sports, stop everything until we got our country lined out, and then I'd crank it back up.
Right.
Because I believe the entertainment is what keeps the people asleep, and we're in a spiritual warfare, right? So, but they're good to be at, fun to be at. I've been to a few, but this weekend and the past weekend, it was like NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, the NFL draft stuff's coming up. It was like NASCAR. It was nonstop. There was no shortage of entertainment.
No. There sure wasn't. You know,
our being awake sometimes is not always fun, you know. The sheepdog mentioned NASCAR. I'm a NASCAR fan, right? But not what they're doing right now. Not what they've been doing for quite a while. Since 2001, since a certain person passed on, right? Not to call any names. Allegedly passed on, I should say. So I know it's hard. Yeah, I know it's hard to not live your everyday life, but you got to remember your everyday life isn't what it was in the past. It's what you make of it in the now. With knowledge, with the action that you take through the knowledge that you've gained. To go and live your life the same way that you were before, as you were before, it just doesn't. It's not gonna harmonize. And thank you for keeping that up there. Happy birthday, Miss Susie.
Happy birthday.
It's not going to impact, be as impactful on your joy and your peace and your ability to move forward the more you live the life of yesterday. What you're supposed to take from yesterday is the knowledge that you needed to learn and grow, and then move into that in today, and let it continue and vibrate through naturally into tomorrow. It's just like coming center, the mother, the father, and the child, right? It's a spiritual warfare, big time. Not only by going within, but understanding the strength that you carry to spiritually battle the things that have been set out against you. They have no chance if you just continuously grow, learn and grow, share that vibration, that higher version of yourself as you do. But it's a game not a game, it's a war that you got to show up to every day. Okay? When you're tired, guys, and you feel like you're not making any headway, take a step back. We've been telling everybody to leave the movie theater for a long time now. Yeah. The time is for the people, and we're learning and we're growing, and we understand that the change that we're looking for, taking back our country and helping humanity get raised up, is all a part of taking each step through in knowledge, in love, and in relationship with the Creator. Nobody in between. Right? Mrs. Sheepdog shared a piece earlier today. They talked about who the Savior is, right? Sheepdog said yesterday, on the last show, that we don't have anybody coming to save us. We got to save ourselves. And that is proven. It's not only proven now, but it's proven in Scripture. Yeshua came in, yes, he defeated the grave and he defeated sin, right? But he also did it in a way so that we could do it too, and more. There's no reason to pass on, you will do greater things than I. For every one of us has that spirit within us. that part of our DNA code you cannot deny. You just have to let it out. Become a co-creator. Become Yeshua's brother. Help liberate yourself and the people. That's what the war is, right?
That's it. That's who's going to save us
That's
is
it.
ourselves. We save ourselves first, and then we help each other, person to the left and to the right of us, and then we help each other. That's it. Like it's always been.
I haven't been able to find that piece Mr. Sheepdog shared on that just yet. But I did want to go ahead and get you this video out from Rod. I haven't even listened to all of it. I know our good friend Just Trigger shared it on TikTok, and it was shared to Telegram by the Sheepdogs. Hope Just is doing all right, man. I know a while back he had a lot of mouth surgery. We haven't heard from him until recently, and good to hear he's back in the fold. And thanks for sharing this video, Just. So y'all check this out real quick. So part 4 of the PSA recently from Pontiac, Chief Pontiac.
The African American, the unapologetically African Umar Johnson, apparently he don't know who he is, need to go talk to Chief Warhorse. So all due respect, you got to respect the elders of the land or you won't do business on the land. This is the rule. She's giving them an opportunity. She's welcoming them to come look at the receipts, go look at the laws, the bills presented, all of these things. She was instrumental in the struggle under the civil rights to make sure that when they tried this move to take us from being the organic tribe, she can tell them she been fighting the whole time knowing who she was. That's why she had to come from the angle she came from. She got all the receipts. So we want the foundational Black Americans, Tariq Nasheed, to come in and explain to her who the fuck is a foundational Black American. Because if you don't know who the Black is that was declared dead at sea, then you don't know who we is. Civilly mortis. But we 5/5 realize now. God body, God mind, walking around in man form. That's what we doing. So when the people make it known, if you want to continue to do business in this place that they currently call in America, you need to go talk to the elders to make sure you understand whether you being deceived or not. We don't have a problem per se with the people of Africa, and they don't got no problem with us. But the media divide and conquer machine want us to profess to be from somewhere other than we from in order to pretend like they don't have to give us our shit back. That's not going to happen. But we don't want nobody to be neglected if they sincere. Everybody haven't seen the receipts, and they need to go talk to Chief Warhorse and see the receipts so that you can know we was already here. This all started in 1492 invasion. This is a 500-year protracted struggle, an ongoing war that's taken many facets over the years. But the voodoo part is why I'm here, because I have to make these people undo these spells. And the key spell was the amnesia spell of Kingu, the spell of sleep. That's some dirty shit, but they had to level the playing field, right? So I come up with the same amnesia as everybody else, but the funny part about it is I can't not know who I am because I am who I am. I know who I am, always have, but I didn't understand how you people perceived who I am as I am. So right now, Roland Martin.
Oh, Roland Martin.
Yeah,
I think
Roland Martin.
he's a TV. Is that a TV guy? Let me see who that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the American journalist.
Yeah.
He's the one that does the Africa stuff. He does a late night show. His name's Roland Martin. Yeah, he's trying to tell him that stop with the bullshit.
Yeah.
You need to
All
go
right.
talk.
So
Chief Warhorse is in Louisiana.
Louisiana, exactly. Mississippi Clay Dirt Walton.
Yes.
They're sharing the receipts with them. Lydia, you hear from somebody that recently had mouth surgery by the same way that you asked the question, through text.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Or sign language.
Right. Another thing I wanted to do with you tonight is to read the first chapter in the book of Enoch. It's the parable of Enoch on the future lot of the wicked and the righteous. This is chapter 1. The words of the blessings of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are to be removed. And he took up his parable and said, Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by God, saw the vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angels showed me. And from them I heard everything. And from them I understood as I saw. But not for this generation, but for a remote one, which is for to come. Concerning the elect, I said, and took my parable concerning them. Here's the parable. Excuse me. The Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread upon the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and appear from his camp, and appear in the strength of his might from the heaven of heavens. And all shall be smitten with fear, and the watchers shall quake. And great fear and trembling shall seize them unto the ends of the earth. And the high mountains shall be shaken, and the high hills shall be made low, and shall melt like wax before the flame. And the earth shall be wholly rent in sunder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish, and there shall be a judgment upon all men. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the elect, and mercy shall be upon them, and they shall belong to God, and they shall be prospered, and they shall be blessed, and he will help them all, and light shall appear unto them, and he will make peace with them. And behold, he cometh with 10,000 of his holy ones, to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. That's chapter 1 from the book of Enoch. It's an easy read, folks. We talked about repentance the other night. Guys, you got to go within and repent within, so that it is cast out into the ether. Okay. Jesus already came and saved us, defeated the grave. For there is nothing but life on that side of the fence. I hope that makes sense to everybody. All the sacrifices and all the the stuff that's in the canon that's been interpreted literally all comes from the other side of the fence, not from God. Keep it simple. And remember that if it's life you want to lead, then you are with God and of God, and God is within you. The heaven you seek is within you as well. Let it out. The Jesus or Yeshua that you believe is coming as the Messiah, the next Messiah, is within you. Let it out. It's in each and every one of us. Hope everybody can get that message and live a joyful, peaceful life in these trying times. All of it's not going to be daisies and tulips, right? It's not all going to be flowers and rainbows, right? It's not, okay? But it is life. And it's life we want to lead. That's what we're here to do. We're here to experience the life and will of the Creator, heaven on earth, and carry it out as co-creators. We're here to prosper. Prosper doesn't always mean money, okay? There's an abundance of things in your life right now that you may or may not recognize that are advancing you and moving you forward. If it doesn't have life attached to it or in the meaning of it, then it's not of God. God gives life only. That's my message for you tonight. I don't have much else to share other than that. It's part of a reflection that I've had over the past couple of days, and I'm grateful to share it with you. Please explain what you mean by let it out. Being a voice through your throat chakra, allowing your heart chakra to shine. All right, and it's not necessarily all service to others as much as well as your voice, your throat chakra. When you see something that's wrong, you gotta say something without being combative towards anybody personally. You gotta go after the narrative, right? That's wrong, because people are living that narrative. We get asked all the time. Here's a good example. We get asked all the time, why do we speak out against Trump? Because the Trump that we have that there's in front of the masses right now is not doing what we needed to do.
He's an actor.
But, yeah, absolutely.
That's it. The president's always been an actor, a puppet.
Yeah.
He's 6 foot tall. It's not even Trump.
Right. So, yeah. Let it out. That's what.
Yeah.
Let it out. Raise your hand and witness to the power of your relationship with God. Let it out. Okay. Each and every day is a learning period. Thank you, Sheepdog. Go ahead.
Trump still has to apologize for how they handled COVID and warp speed and all that. They still haven't apologized. The vaccines are still on the shelf. There's 100+ plus thousand homeless veterans that still have a homeless crisis that never gets talked about. People are living paycheck to paycheck. We're all like one paycheck away from being homeless, 50% of the country. So until the condition of the people changes, then I'm going to forever speak up so that those closed mouths don't get fed, first off. So you got to let them know. And that's just the oral part of the oral tradition. But we're focused on DC this whole time, and we're distracted about what's taking place in our own backyards. They got us looking overseas at wars when the war is right here on the streets. They want y'all looking over there thinking there's an enemy across the fucking globe, that's, excuse my language, across the globe that we need to be concerned about while our rights are being violated. People are getting, a 17-year-old autistic kid was gunned down by 4 police officers who went straight to deadly force. These are real issues, and they're not being talked about. We're conservatives are more worried about trannies than the kids in the being harmed in the churches. You'll protest the tranny, but you won't protest the church for all this shit that's coming out. All these pastors, youth pastors, clergymen. Doesn't matter
for decades.
what
That's been going on for decades. Yeah.
So there's a house to clean up, and everybody's ignoring the elephant in the room. We came here for the children, but we're silent when it comes to something that may affect our belief system or something that we hold to a higher standard than God. So, yeah, that's why we do it. And I know Trump's an actor. So, I mean, trust me, it hurt me to have to make that switch because I've backed him 100%, just like everybody else. But then I realized what was taking place. Nothing was getting done. The train was still just flying down the tracks and nobody was waking up. And I'm like, hold on. Are y'all going to hit the brakes, or y'all going to bring this 2020 selection shit up to the forefront? Or are we going to get to the bottom?
The Constitution isn't being followed. The same, even the tariffs is unconstitutional. There has to be an emergency for a president to even be able to do a tariff, and those are just being done, and no one's saying anything. Executive orders are not constitution. It's a suggestion. It's not a. They're not even going through Congress. It's just all backwards.
Congress bypasses the system of checks and balances.
Yeah, they're bypassing.
That's right.
They're even Trump, the actor playing Trump, and is ignoring the Supreme Court ruling 9-0 to return the American citizen they shipped overseas.
Yep.
And they pretty much said they weren't going to. From what Trump's saying, the citizens are next. That's what he said. I got the clip.
Yeah,
he said
did.
American citizens are next. He said that out of his mouth at the White House and when his meeting. I got the clips.
And they did the same thing in Germany when they went after the Jews, right? Then they went after the Germans and even Christian Germans. So that's because they didn't speak up who they were coming after first, and then they started coming after them.
Then it was too late because they didn't speak up for the first group that they didn't like. So they keep us divided, and they think our enemy is some immigrant. The immigrants didn't shut down the country and put needles in our family members' arms and hospitals killing our relatives. Where's the justice? You worried about an immigrant? You know, I'm all for rape, immigrants that are rapists and murderers being off the streets. I like to ask why every law enforcement officer in this country didn't have them already arrested if they're free walking our streets. If you're a rapist or a murderer. So I don't fall for that psyop that all of them are rapists and murderers and stuff. He was talking about Congress or something. That's what I was thinking. Everybody else must have thought that people just trying to find a better life was a rapist. And now there are some bad ones, the coyotes and stuff like that at the border, the rape trees. I've seen them. But they also get abused when they come here, those little babies, Hispanic babies. And that's one thing that your media is not going to talk about. Why is that? Why won't they tell you they were trafficking children at the border and there's hundreds of thousands of kids missing and women? Why won't they tell you how many vaccine deaths there have taken place? Oh, because they're all controlled by Big Pharma. Everybody's got money in their pockets to keep silent. So it has to be us to speak out and not sitting back watching the shit show. That's and right. How do you speak out? social media is a good way to speak out. Keep it peaceful. Don't threaten anybody. Your churches. You got a whole congregation sitting right there. The whole church should be awake by now if you're in it, especially if I'm in it. I've already tried it. Trust me, it's kind of hard waking up certain people. It depends on what information you bring, but really more now than ever, people need to come out and tell the truth. All these Masonic pastors that know the truth, but yet they're just not telling the congregation the whole truth. We're not talking about the seminary schools, the ones that they go get brainwashed at. We're talking about the mystery schools. Your Mason pastors know the truth.
And the biblical scholars know the truth about that things already took place. They know all about that. Mm-hmm.
But it's in my opinion that there are good Masons and bad Masons. They're not just all bad. Some people want to call them, but that's not the case.
There's good and bad in everything.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. So I want to change the flow here and just be positive because that's my blood type, and keep it moving.
Right on.
Tonight I'd like to debunk the whole space thing real quick. Mars, this blue origin. We're going to play a couple of videos here, and we're going to really look at this one more time. This should be it for some of you. This should be all it takes to realize that we live in a staged world. The world is a stage. These are billionaires that got money to shoot rockets while people down the street are homeless. There's things that these billionaires could be doing with this money, but for some reason they just like to get $1 billion and then shoot a rocket up. Like, why would you want to blast off a $1 billion rocket? And then, it doesn't make any sense to me. But here is Jeff Bezos's launch that we just seen. We're going to break it down real quick and show you how fake it is. You see the movie set, right?
Oh yeah.
Do a really quick video on this staged Katy Perry to space hoax. Aside of all the other proofs of this hoax, I just want to show you this really, really quick one that happened during the live footage of the opening of the hatch. Check this out.
You saw her get so emotional in her pre-flight interview. Is she still is that still the weighing emotion, or is she still just oh my God, I saw the stars, I saw the curvature of the earth? What is?
Pay attention to the propaganda they're feeding you and the lies. I saw the curvature of the earth. Pay attention to certain things. Why do they need to say that, reiterate that, if everybody knows that it's a globe? They must know something, right? And as long as they keep planting those seeds in people's minds, they believe it over time, right? And they don't realize that they're ever so subtly being brainwashed. But all we have to do is open our eyes. I just want to set up this next shot. This door can't open unless supposedly you can't open this door but from the outside, but you're going to see that they open it from the inside, and then they tell them to shut it so that they can film the next, which is Jeff Bezos going over there with some kind of a tool and then pretending to open it. So here we go.
What's going to come out of her
see
mouth?
The door open already.
And is that Jeff Bezos out there right by the capsule? Kind of hard to see.
That is correct. That is Jeff Bezos, our founder, on the left, as well as Sarah Knights, our crew member 7.
He's like, she opened the door. Yeah.
Okay, guys, did you see that? Let's go back and watch it one more time. Okay, now I want you to watch the hatch door open from the inside. The lady runs over there real quick, says, no, shuts the door back, tries to stand in front of it. And then, actually, she starts laughing about it, as you can see right here, because, like I said, it's all staged. It has to look like it's open from the outside.
And we're now just awaiting the opening of the hatch so we can get some views from our 6 new astronauts.
And I would imagine Lauren Sanchez in seat 1 will be coming out first.
That is correct. They'll go. She's in seat 1, which is next to the left.
Mm-hmm.
The left window there. She will go first. And then last in number 6 is Carrie Ann. That is the window on the right.
Guy, Canyon.
You see those vans arriving. Those are friends and family.
He's got the tool in his hand. He's got to go over there and do the
And
scene.
that's Carrie Ann looking out the window, in the window to the right there. Lauren Sanchez on the left. And you really get a sense of just how big these windows are. I mean, when you're inside this capsule, it's almost as though you're getting a full 360 panoramic view. One of the cool features of this capsule, the largest windows of any spacecraft.
So over a third of the surface area of this craft is windows. And that's on purpose. There were many meetings with our founder, Jeff Bezos, where our engineers brought him some windows. He said, nope, make them bigger. And he come back, then, nope, that's nice, but make them bigger. And what you get here, why is that so important? So many of our astronauts have said, when I got on my seat, I looked at outside my window and I turned around and I looked at the other 5 windows, and my brain created a panoramic view, panoramic photo of it.
The obvious comms for me is Shepherd. Keep that in mind with the feather, but Shepherd.
Because so much of the capsule is windows, and it makes for just an incredible experience.
Sarah.
Good? Okay, here we go.
Here goes Jeff Bezos to open the hatch.
See how they do it? They can open it from the inside, guys. Look, they did it. He didn't even turn it.
Come on out, guys.
Stupid.
Okay, now you guys just seen them faking it with your own eyes. Once again, watch them open the pressurized capsule from the inside.
Oh, no.
Not knowing that it's not time. It's not Q time yet.
It's not cute time, baby.
And then you have the stage part where the media shows you all over the news that they're waiting for the guy to open the hatch.
Good? Okay, here we go.
That's what they
Here
show you on
goes
the
Jeff
news.
Bezos to open the hatch.
See how they got. He didn't even turn it. He said she didn't want to close it again.
And once again, you've been fooled, people.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said they sent 5 women up there, but another person said it was 5 trannies. I don't know, man. They sent a gay king up there too. A gay king. Oh, I'm sorry, Gail King. My bad. Gayle. Somebody's gonna put that in the chat.
There's this one video.
They're gonna go troll him with Gay King.
Yeah.
All right, what we got is CGI situations that take place when they do stuff like this. Keep in mind, this is stationary. I've seen them sitting here talking. We're going to see that in the clip where they're just sitting here talking, no floating around. We're going to talk about Mars in this as well. We're going to debunk Mars. Nobody's flying to Mars. Refund Elon his tickets back.
There's this one video where the actor is going around a corner and he is faded out before making it completely out of the viewer's sight.
Can y'all see that? Gone. Gone.
Let's not forget space bubbles.
underwater. They're in that underwater thing where the actors train at. I think it's in Tampa Bay, in Florida. I may be wrong.
Dave Williams about to move out of the Quest airlock. Those particles that you see emanating from the airlock is said by the EVA officer Paul Bain in Mission Control to be particles of water from the crew's sublivators on their spacesuits.
Sublivator.
So many times during spacewalks outside the International Space Station, you can see air bubbles rising up. Can you touch on how there are air bubbles in space?
Can you be more specific? Air bubbles?
So yeah, like a lot of times during the footage, the NASA footage, you can see
He's an astronaut. You don't know what an air bubble is?
bubbles coming up out of the helmets or kind of from underneath you. How do you explain bubbles in space?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, and it just happens that actors train in an underwater tank. NASA tells us that the Earth is photoshopped because it has to be.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then
There was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
and then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space.
Some NASA actors say that you can totally see stars when you're in space.
Whilst in space, have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
Yeah. So
all
because
the
you can
time.
see, because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
It's not a
which is the
black
cool thing.
void. I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
There's all the stars there, and the cool thing is about it, you can see it during the day.
Yeah, you can, and there's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons.
You see the gas Magellan clouds of
Yeah,
the
you
Lake
see the
Galaxy.
Magellanic Clouds.
Magellanic. See, I just wanted the
Well,
Magellan
there's a large
clouds.
one and a small one, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see the zodiacal light.
Whoa. But the NASA actors from 1969 say that you can't see the stars in space.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar pearl what stars we could see. I don't remember seeing any.
You can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
I don't remember seeing any.
NASA says that we can't leave low Earth orbit.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
The kinds of technologies that we're testing out on Space Station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
And this is really the beginning, I think, of human beings leaving low Earth orbit.
One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth.
NASA tells us that they lost the 1960s technology that took us to the moon.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
The ultimate destination is Mars. So if you gave me all the money in the federal budget today, I could not get a human to Mars.
Did y'all hear that? Let's play that again.
Yep.
Elon, tune in, bro. I know you got Starlink. Here we go, Elon. We want our money back.
I cannot get a human to Mars. All right.
That's
So
right.
I got to get a new pair of boots.
If you gave me all the money in the world, so what are we funding? Who's funding the trip to Mars? And what
Somebody's pockets.
Like
it's another slush fund.
It's a painful process to build it back again.
The ultimate destination is Mars. So if you gave me all the money in the federal budget today, I could not get a human to Mars.
I think that what you're doing is taking a shot in the dark. You have no way of knowing if any commercial entity will ever be able to put a man in orbit, no matter how much money you throw at them. What you're doing is you're taking NASA's manned space program and making it a faith-based initiative. I yield the rest of my time.
NASA also says that they lost the telemetry data for the moon missions.
I haven't seen anything that indicates the telemetry data is even in existence. And as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't really give you much of a clue as to where this data ended up and whether it still exists or not.
Man, that's kind of like the Epstein list and everything else.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm starting to catch on here. Damn. That's like the 33,000 emails.
Can't say this data exists. Wow.
So I just wanted to
recall seeing any stars. Wow.
Right.
Remember in the pictures from the moon, pictures from the moon of Earth that doesn't even show any stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just black sky, and they called it out. And they're like, "Why is the sky black? There should be stars." And then these guys are like, "Yeah, I've seen the stars," and then they're looking at each other bullshitting. They get paid big bucks to lie to you, folks. That's why the snake split tongue is on the logo. They got split tongues, like a serpent. The devil is a liar, and the truth ain't in it. That's what we're dealing with.
Right.
It's a circus. It's a clown. It's a Nephilim type shit. CIA clowns.
Yeah, Nephilim are the clowns.
CAA. They're all actors.
Yeah.
The rabbit hole goes deeper than that.
Pam Bondi is an actress with her own IMDb page. Pam Bondi, born on November 1965 in Tampa. She is known for Florida Wild, CNN Newsroom, and Art Journal. Florida Wild. Thought at first that she was maybe like a director, like a consultant, because it's based in Florida and she was in Florida. But no, they have her listed under the cast. She's in the movie. She is an actress in the movie. Then I thought, well, maybe this is an old movie, like a straight to DVD type of thing. She did it before she started all of this, and that happens, right? We had, a couple presidents do that. Current one, wasn't he in Home Alone? Absolutely not. This movie is set to come out in 2025, but there's no date to be released yet.
Perseverance, 3 young men after their dad had passed away in a tragic way, going and finding their destiny.
It also has Lee Majors, Marina Sorvino, Chandler Riggs, and Bailey Chase in it, and Pam Bondi, but I don't know what part.
Lee Majors? Is that the... Oh, no, that's not JR, is it?
Lee Majors? No, he didn't play
She plays
JR.
Huh? No.
They don't have that listed yet. I guess this explains why she wants to see herself on Fox News all the time, making promises she can't keep. Where's the list, Pam Bondi? You told us it was on your desk. You invited a bunch of influencers to the White House to give it to them just for it to be a big old nothing burger. The biggest thing she seems to want to talk about right now is holding the people who firebombed a bunch of Teslas accountable. I'm going to be really honest. I don't care about people's Teslas. Where's the list, and why aren't those people being held accountable? About all the lies and all the bullshit that happened during the vid, right? What about those people? Are those people going to be held accountable? What about Dr. Anthony Fauci? Is he going to be held accountable? What are you doing up here just making movies? It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, Lee Majors played the $6 million man. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. $6 million man.
The Bionic Man. Oh, she was funny now.
Right here it says, if we get that on the screen real big, WR Shock. I found this on Twitter. Or X. It's hard for me to switch over to X. It just sounds weird. A.G. Pam Bondi is an actress complete with an IMDb page and upcoming film, ? That's right. Central casting, folks. Just like By Dan, Lauren Boebert, and Candace Owens. She is literally not a politician or an attorney, but an actress that looks hot to the boomer demographic. It's just eye candy, folks. I told you.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You got
What?
in the Republican Party. They put all the women.
Trump's attorney.
Margaret Taylor Greene is not no eye candy. She looks more like linebacker for Pittsburgh Steelers.
I didn't mean eye candy, but she's an actress. Actress/actor. I don't know which one she is. Guy, girl, I don't know.
But Trump's attorney, you know, all the different women that he surrounds himself with, stuff like that. What's her name? Nome, the
Christy Nome.
Yeah, Christy Nome. She's cosplaying. She's wearing different, she's wearing flap jackets with guns, and just really makes the guys, you know, drool over a woman with a gun, especially gun lovers, you know, and that's kind of they're targeting the certain demographic of Republican men with the women.
Yeah. Or so-called women.
Right.
Yeah.
With kickstands.
So go check out her new movie. Department of Justice coming out soon. Oh wait, Justice of Department. She said the other day. I caught her when she was at the front of the ship. She said, "Oh, that's I played it for Mike backstage, and she slipped up. She says, and I want to thank the Justice of Department. I mean Department of Justice." And I was like, "Oh my God." She don't even know who she works for. She don't even know who she works for. So we got the dealerships are getting what they deserve. This guy right here says.
If you drive past a dealership lot right now, it'll be completely full. Even their overflow lot is going to be completely full. They are filled with overpriced inventory that they simply can't sell. Even with a little discount from the manufacturer, a little rebate, and a little dealer discount, it's not enough. People are saying, I need more discounts. I need 20, 30,000 off some of these pickups because they're so dang expensive. And we all know dealerships showed their true colors over the last few years with all the market adjustments and stupid charges. That's the biggest problem. Also, manufacturers raising the price on top of the dealership adding all the BS. So you got to think about it. The dealership screws you over so bad, and I don't think people understand how bad they do. Most of the stuff that dealership adds provides no value at all. Nitrogen-filled tires, all this stuff that's just a complete BS scam. And the worst part about it is people think they got a good deal. They go through the finance department, they buy all the warranties, and they say the dealership treated me so nicely. Yeah, it's because they made 10 grand off of you. Try to go through the finance box without buying any products. They turn real quick from a nice person to not so nice. Especially if you're a cash deal, not financing, not buying any product. Generally, it can be pretty quick, but it's definitely not a happy process. The finance guy is not happy to see me. But you have to understand, when you finance to a dealership, you fill out that credit app. Most of the time, they're raising the rate on you, so they get you approved at 8, but they're going to show you 10%, and they get a spread of the difference from the bank. It's an additional profit driver for the dealership. That's one of the most scummy ways to make money is to raise the rate on an interest rate that's already approved by the lender at a certain rate. It's crazy. And if you buy any warranty or any gap coverage, they're going to tell you maybe if you negotiate, oh, I'm giving it to you at cost. I call BS on that. You're paying probably double or triple what it costs. And as vehicles continue to rise, people are financing their car longer and longer. We already know 84 months is all over the place, but when are they going to start doing 96 and all this stuff? It's going to happen eventually. And that's the craziest thing to me. And they're going to keep financing longer and longer, and it's going to be more interest. It's a bad situation. But finally, dealerships are getting maxed out because rates are high, prices are high. People don't think million a year on average for these $200,000 Ford F-250s. Like, for real.
Damn.
That's how crazy these prices are. So now the dealership's not able to add
I can get a Lamborghini or a Maybach for that.
Yeah.
Not no more. Not no more.
150,000 for an F-250. Holy shit.
Yeah.
They're less than that because they can't add it on their payment. Their loan to value.
That truck like that used to be 50,000 on these special packages, and the average truck would be 15,000, 20.
Right.
But when my grandpa was buying cars, he was spending $5,000 cash on a brand new car in 1980.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ugly ass green car because my grandma was Irish, so she had to have a greenhouse and a green car.
Oh, bless her heart.
Use only so much, they can only add so much to it. So it is definitely getting harder for dealerships to make as much profit as they were just a few years ago. Of course, they're not, but still, they ripped us off
Mike,
bad.
that F-250 thinks it's a Mustang. They got Shelby across of it.
Right.
Is that the Mustang?
It's a badass truck. Now I'm gonna tell you, but it ain't worth what they're asking for.
No.
So this is just a reflection of the economy and where it still is, truthfully and honestly. So that most people, the news isn't going to cover this.
Well, this is not only the reflection of the economy, it's also a reflection of the manipulation in the economy.
Yeah, the greed.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They haven't even done the tariffs, and the truck's already 150,000.
That's right.
And all the parts come from overseas anyway.
Yeah, they're not American made.
That's false
They're not
advertising.
American made. Yeah.
We got to get back to making our own cars like they used to.
Yep.
Somebody's got to do something different than this Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Trio, whatever. A few other models, but
You're good. And you got to realize what they add generally provides no value. And when they do provide what little bit of value they do, let's say they add a lift, wheels, and tire.
all right, we're getting screwed. So I'll go ahead and we ain't gonna play the rest. I just want to play that for a minute to show what the real economy that we have to pay. I mean, these prices shouldn't be that. They're really through inflation and as well. I don't see how a family that's trying to feed their family and pay their rent and bills and stuff like that to survive can afford a truck payment. I mean, and they got to get back and forth to work. They need reliable transportation. You want your economy to boost, drop these damn trucks down to 20,000.
Right. Yeah, they need to.
Listen, the reason why is because you see them shocks on the front of that truck right there. It takes 2 shocks now in the front of that truck, and they're both computerized.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Anything hooked up to a computer is fucked.
Yep.
Especially your shocks.
Yep. Go buy you an old F-150 or F-250, like in the 90s or 70s. 80s, and go buy you one of those and carry it up to Diesel Brothers. You can get a real piece of metal put in it, and what you want. But it's the car market, truck market, all of it's about the electronics. I mean, Escalade has over 300 sensors in the steering column alone.
My gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is past crazy. I exaggerated, not over 300, over 130 is what the number is. Over 130 sensors in the steering column alone.
I was just happy with tilt steering.
And you don't put no wrench on them. Right. You don't put no wrench on them to try and take it apart and fix it, buddy. You got to hook a computer to it.
Yeah, they're making it impossible to work on, right?
Mechanics aren't mechanics anymore. They're IT techs.
Shit.
That's right.
I wonder if they get paid the same or more.
If they know their shit, they get more. But, their cars are leaving out of there mechanically hurt still. When a lot of the IT goes down, they can fix the IT and it'll fix what they see in the computer, but it doesn't fix the mechanical part. Nobody checks a gear anymore in a rear end. They just check the sensors that affect the rear end. The EVAP systems are dangerous on these things, which is why I'm glad they're going away. The evap systems that are dangerous on these things are the reason why they're dangerous is because nobody knows how the mechanical side works. They only know about what the computer tells them. It's the same thing as calling the courthouse and them reading off the screen what they're allowed to tell you. Okay, that's what you get in a mechanic nowadays. And I'm not speaking about all of them. Don't get me wrong, because I know there's some mechanics watching tonight, and I'm friends with lots of them. But I'm here to tell you, being a mechanic is not being a mechanic anymore. It's an IT tech job. It's tech. They even got commercials out saying that now. Yep, absolutely. You don't have a reader for the chips and a scanner, even the ability to have a tune kit, so you can a laptop with these aftermarket programs on them that'll go in there and help you tune the car electronically first. Once you get it tuned electronically, you can tell if the spark plugs are bad in it, or you can follow the owner's manual that says change the spark plugs, like in that. The F-150 is 75,000 miles. You know, so I mean, the car industry ain't shit no more. It's a bunch of damn bureaucratic IT bullshit. They don't have real metal on them anymore. You know, you dent a fender, take the sucker off, put it in the sun in the parking lot, and it'll reshape itself. Or you might have to repaint it, maybe. I mean, they're just not real. You know. The interiors and all that are all snapped together. Why? Because they got bombs in them. You know, they got bombs in the car everywhere. Them airbags, those aren't airbags; those are bombs.
Shit. That's
I know.
It's in the face when they go off.
Yeah, I had mine pop out, and it about tore my neck off. It tore all the skin off. Yeah, it was horrible. It felt like someone punched me really hard.
Oh yeah.
She said she only hit a curb.
Yeah, it was just barely hit the curb, but it hit a sensor, which made it pop.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's why she don't drive no more. She wrecked the race car, Mike. In the first turn.
They got them in the side pillar now and everything. I mean, these cars are loaded up with them now.
Especially around your kids in the back seat, huh?
Yeah, man. Imagine one coming out and your radio comes flying through the back windshield from where your dash airbag exploded. Yeah. Airbag broke my ribs.
Yeah, they're harsh.
Yeah.
I hope there's airbags on this ride that we're on right now.
Right.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, one way we can put these cops, take these cops off the road is get you a walking tall sledgehammer. Get you a walking tall sledgehammer and just walk up to the front and smack the bumper with that sledgehammer one good time. Bust that airbag out on them.
Mike, you go to jail for like keying a Tesla right now. You'll be 20, 40 years ex-Pam Bondi.
Right.
You scratch a Tesla.
Order follow.
Hold on.
These are the people.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, you're good. You're good. But, I mean, folks, we really have to pay attention to, did we grow as a society when we got into the automobiles costing $150,000 from all the way from $3,000 and $5,000 and sometimes on occasionally $8,000, right?
It's not even a Lambo.
Right. And it's you
I can
know,
get a
these are
Lambo.
yeah, these used to be American made cars. They're not anymore.
I'd hate to even look at the damn Corvettes, what they're going for. If a Ford F-250 is 150,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they won't even let you test drive a Corvette if you don't have on the right kind of shoes and clothes.
Right.
They
True.
judge you as soon as you walk in the door.
Hell yeah, I go in there barefooted just to fuck with them. Excuse my language. Sorry. I can't use the F word anymore. I apologize. It just slipped out.
All good. But I get it. Y'all do your thing. Y'all do your thing in the car market, like the first video said, let them rot. I'm not even a Ford guy.
Yep.
I like the Bronco, and I got a F-150. I'm a Chevrolet man, but the F-150 in 2014 was better than the Chevrolet. But let the Bronco. They brought the Bronco back, man. I thought that was cool until I figured out how much of it is electronic. How you take so much electronics out in the sand dunes and stuff like that. Man, that stuff is don't make any sense. Just don't make any sense. The Bronco even 4x4 was a cool looking vehicle in its early years. So I was glad to see them bring it back and give it a pretty cool look, but the vehicle itself is shit.
I learned how to drive a Bronco.
Yeah.
That's where I broke that's how I learned. My dad never had an 80 model.
Oh yeah.
The fumes would come through the back window though.
Yeah, the fumes come through the back window, right?
Right. It ain't like that today.
Right. So we really have to examine this so-called advancements that we've had in the past, because I think we can do better than that, right? I'm pretty sure we can do better than that, and you'll see that in the coming changes and all. But we just got to get there, one day at a time, right? Go ahead, Sheepdog.
You were talking about law enforcement and stuff like that, so I decided to just split to this video. This is going to be a not so popular topic for most Republicans and people that back the blue, but I ask that you please separate yourself from that for a minute and just understand what's taking place so that we can get our country back and possibly even do away with the Patriot Act and everything like that. That's what my goal is. And my goal is also to have the well-educated law enforcement, not what we have today, which they showed their true colors during COVID when they were arresting
peacemakers.
People.
They're supposed to be peacemakers, not law policy enforcers. Yeah.
So the goal is to make it known where we stand as a people and how we feel about order followers. Like Ms. Sheepdog said, this all goes back to Nazi Germany and other lessons learned throughout the years. And we're dealing with that again today. And a lot of people take offense. And I think that's what keeps us from making way is understanding we're all on the same ship and we all want the same thing. But what we have right now can be fixed, and it needs to be fixed. Everybody's rights need to be respected across the board. We need really good people to step up. But order followers got to go, and that's what's holding the people back as a whole. Because at the end of the day, even the order followers' grandchildren has to grow up in the mess they made. You understand?
That's right.
So we're not only fighting for our kids, but we're fighting for the order followers' kids. Because that's what we really care about.
order followers. These are the people who keep the system of slavery in place. Okay? They're the people who keep the system of slavery in place. Let me just say this again. Order followers are the people who keep the existence of slavery in place.
But I suffer from PTSD too, but I'm still listening to the police.
Not the ruling class, not the masters, not the so-called elite, which aren't the elite of anything but the bottom of a trash can. Okay? The people who keep slavery in place are the people who willfully follow their orders.
Well, I suffer from PTSD too, but I'm still listening to the police.
Following orders means, by definition, doing what you are told to do without judging for yourself whether or not that action that you are being ordered to carry out is actually right or wrong. That's the definition of following orders. I mean, can anybody refute that? Is that not the actual definition of following someone else's order? By definition, you're not, if you're following the order, you're given the order and then you just act. You just do it.
Like
because you're following the order.
Like
you don't
COVID.
sit there and go, what that person told me to do right? Do I have a right to do that? Is that moral? Should I do that because, you know, it's okay and it doesn't hurt somebody else? Or should I not do that because it actually does cause harm? It's not what an order follower does in their mind. An order follower says, yes, sir, and follows the order. That's why it's called an order follower. That's why it's called following an order.
Well, I suffer from PTSD too, but I'm still listening to the police.
So that's the definition of what an order follower is. It's not my perception of what an order follower is. It's the actual definition of order following.
I want to point out something right here. You keep showing this image, and I don't know if most people are catching it. This is in a war zone. It's Iraq, Afghanistan, who knows where, right? Maybe on base somewhere, photo. These are military members. They carry military weapons. They dress like this because they're in combat, right? They're at war, right? Why do you have a militarized police department dressed like they're at war? And who are they at war with?
Right.
Right. This shouldn't be the response to anything. Because you should be able to maintain control out of respecting everybody's rights and stuff like that, instead of forcibly getting involved in a protest or anything like that and going out there dressed like this, military. This is nothing more than military police. This is what the Patriot Act has brought forward. Everybody's acting wins martial law. You already have a militarized police. We're already in it since 9/11. Patriot Act.
The actual definition of,
and even before that,
order following. Okay? If an individual, this is key to understand, if an individual is performing the task of following orders, by definition, that individual cannot be exercising conscience.
Well, I suffer from PTSD too, but I'm still listening to the police.
Since, by definition, exercising conscience means that one is willfully choosing through their free will for themselves right action over wrong action. So the concept of following orders is completely polar opposite to the concept of exercising conscience. You cannot be doing the same things simultaneously. It's impossible to do those two things simultaneously. They are contradictions in terms by definition. Okay, most people don't grasp that. Okay, by definition, if you're following orders, you cannot be actually exercising conscience, which involves free will choice based on the knowledge of right and wrong.
Yes, I am.
Here's what order following gets us as far as a nation is concerned. You know, not that we're not already there, not that these people already didn't take us, because we're taken by them already covertly. They took us through the school systems. They couldn't beat us militarily. So they said, well, let's send our ideologues over there and get into the minds of their children. And if you don't believe that's what happened, you're very, very, very wrong. Not only the Nazis, but the communists as well. Because really, it's all just forms of socialism. That's what feudalism is. Worldwide socialism is there's no such thing as private property. The state owns everything. Rights don't exist. Property rights don't exist. Everybody's a feudal serf again. It's called neo-feudalism. I don't care which branch you come at it from. You want to come at it from the left, that's called communism. You want to come at it from the right, that's called national socialism. Communism, international socialism.
Turn around now. Okay.
They're both the same force. It's called feudalism. Let's just call it what it is. It's called feudalism, which is in itself just another euphemism for slavery. They want neo-feudalism, which is the new world order of slavery. Okay? And it's already here. It's not something that's coming. It's here now. The object is to get out of it. This is the result of following orders. That's what following orders gets to society. Following orders should never be seen as a virtue. Following orders is evil. I don't care whether you're, I don't care if somebody who is considered a holy man gives me an order and I follow it. I've just committed an act of evil, as far as I'm concerned. If I'm acting based on solely what somebody else has told me to do, that's evil. There's no morality in it at all. At all. It's not a virtue. It's evil. Okay? Let me just make that so abundantly clear and state it so unequivocally. There's no such thing as any possible moral following of orders. The two terms are contradictory. All right? I was just following orders is never a valid excuse or justification for immoral criminal behavior, and this lame attempt to abdicate personal responsibility should never be accepted as a valid excuse for such behavior. And why it's done is through justification. And again, that means to create a right, from jus, meaning right or law, and the Latin verb facere, which means to make or to create. And this is what they say. I was just following orders. I was just doing my job. I was shutting down your protest. You don't have a right to speak. The politicians commanded me so. So I just came out and I was just doing my job. Hitting you with a sound cannon. You know, just doing my job, just following my orders. It's a justification. You're a criminal. There's nothing moral in that. There's nothing virtuous in that. It's called criminal behavior, criminal activity. And what they do is try to create it into a right, make it into a right by a justification. And nobody should ever accept their justifications. Because you know what their justifications is? You know what they are? It's called a 100% crock of bull that is a complete lie. It's a lie.
Yes, I
They're just straight up looking you in the face and saying, I'm not responsible for that. I just did it, but I'm not the one who's responsible for it because I was acting on orders. Well, see, this defense didn't work as the Nuremberg defense, and nobody in America should be accepting it. Nobody in America should be accepting it because they believe in the legitimacy of authority and government.
Are you my authority? Yes, I am.
Through mind control. That's what they believe it. They believe there's legitimacy to it. Most people actually believe that there's legitimacy to this criminal behavior because a class of people calling themselves government have magically been imbued and gifted with such rights, quote unquote. They believe they have rights other people don't. They themselves believe it, but worse is that the people who are actually affected by that criminal behavior, they believe they have the authority to do it.
Are you my authority? Yes, I am.
Gandhi said, you assist an evil system most effectively by obeying its orders and decrees. An evil system never deserves such allegiance. Allegiance to it means partaking of the evil. A good person will resist an evil system with his or her whole soul, which means saying no.
You would stop for a traffic offense. Now get your butt over there now.
For what?
For what? Christmas?
And right here at the very end was a really good point. It's called resisting the beast. You're supposed to resist the beast and the beast system and everything that comes with it. Why do you think the president rides around in the beast? I mean, they try to put it in your face, but
it's in your face.
You know, not very many people catch it. They caught up in the Truman Show. They want their favorite quarterback to be in there, Tom Brady or whatever. so they can win the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, I mean all NASCAR drivers want Ricky Bobby now, you know.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
It's a tad ironic.
So they're holding the slave system up, and people have to recognize that. And they also need to recognize that, because I believe if they knew that, most of your law enforcement officers are just uninformed. They just don't know. It's always been done this way. I believe they're really good people in there. Just like they said, just doing their job, but they need to bring their conscience back into play, and their hearts and their compassion, and respect the people they serve and protect, not the politicians that send them out there and tell them to just shoot. You have full immunity to do what you want. Right now we have a bunch of egotistical maniacs that are out here gunning down 17-year-old kids with autism because they don't know the ladder of force. First thing when you show up is verbal. It should have been verbal the whole time. And being able to identify a kid when he has a mental health, or anyone with mental health issues, there was no need in shooting that kid when that kid was on the other side of a fence with a knife. Usually. So here we go.
It's a tad ironic seeing all the conservatives complaining recently about right-wing influencers being swatted. Now, for those who don't know, that's when somebody calls 911 and makes up some story about some crime or hostage situation or whatever to trick the cops into doing an armed raid on somebody's residence or place of business or whatever. Sometimes arresting people, sometimes murdering people, always terrorizing people. Now, those who make such phone calls, lying about stuff to make armed raids happen to innocent people, are absolutely horrible scumbags. That's obviously a profoundly despicable, evil thing to do. However, it's a tad ironic watching conservatives complaining about this being done to them. You're the ones who wanted the cops to be heavily armed. You militarized the police. You keep acting as cheerleaders and apologists for badge-wearing psychopaths no matter what they do, including when they victimize nonviolent people. You're the ones applauding, or at least making excuses for, the fascist thuggery that has become domestic law enforcement. No, the real problem is not that you were targeted with this. The real problem is that swatting works at all. The fact that some random person can place an anonymous call fabricating some story, and then, based on nothing more than made-up, unsubstantiated bullshit, the nearest gang of trigger-happy, bloodthirsty thugs will do a paramilitary SWAT invasion of someone's home. Probable cause? Meh. Who needs it? Due process? Heck with that. Presumption of innocence? Nah. Let's just jump right to guns blazing, Nazi-style surprise home invasions. Rah, rah, rah for the fascists in blue. Well, dumbasses, now they're in your living room as a result of what you created. It was your authoritarian mentality, your policies, your pathetic cop worship that empowered the mindless state mercenary gangs that do this. So until you undo this bootlicking bullshit so it doesn't happen to anyone anymore, why do you deserve anyone's pity when the beast that you created steps on you?
A little harsh, but got to get it like that sometimes. The opinion is of his own. It doesn't necessarily reflect everyone else's opinion on the show or how to present it, but that's his way of presenting it. And you can only tell somebody so many different times. Maybe being offended by it is actually what wakes you up to what's going on.
That's right. That's right, because it's true. We create a beast. When that happens to you, then it's a different story, right? When you see it happening to others, you justify it. But when it comes to you, then it becomes a different story.
I stand up for everybody because the Constitution says we the people. doesn't exclude anybody.
Right. Yep. It don't matter if they send gay kings to the
Gay king, yeah, they sent Gay King up on the rocket, Mike. It looks like a penis.
Yep. Well, Oprah Winfrey watched, is what I heard. She was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Shepard capsule they had a kickstand on it when they landed.
Right on.
Hey, that was funny. I don't care what y'all think.
And notice notice they all got in the ship. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but they all got in the rocket in their designer clothes, not in astronaut suits.
Right. They were in like scuba gear, it looked like.
They were in surfing skin suit thing, whatever the hell they call them.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
And no helmets, Mike. You didn't need a helmet.
Wetsuit, yeah. No helmets, exactly.
No big ass boots, nothing, dude.
Yep, I think it's time for them to take another picture on the moon without helmets.
Somebody said they wish they would have stayed there. Why did they come back? I mean, if you want to really entertain us with rocket launches, put some of these damn actors on there. Deep state, people harming kids. Ship them off the damn, shoot them up into the firmament and blow up some shit.
Right. We need a little some kind of action, don't we?
Yeah, man. Yeah. If they make me director, I'm going to write that in.
Oh, let's write it in, Sheepdog. I'm with you.
Yeah, the next movie they show is going to be that. It's going to have SEAL Team 6 involved and everything, man. It's going to be badass.
Right on.
This is Gaddafi. This is we remember they called him an evil dictator, right? But what he was doing was trying, just like JFK. This is linked to JFK. Just like JFK, he tried to do silver and gold backed currency without the U.S. because he was going to sink the petrodollar and all that shit, and that's why that went and them ordered to hit. Well, those are actors too, but the CIA or whoever. Netanyahu. But boom.
I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him. Why? Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. At every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like European gold, like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the U.S. and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous, and it's wrong. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign.
That's a regime change. That's like Netanyahu's thing with our military folks.
Yeah, well, Gaddafi took the state's sovereign wealth and gave it to the people where it's supposed to be given to.
Yes,
and that's what they didn't. That's what they didn't like about it.
That's right.
Again. See, everybody only thinks of these 2, but it's 3. When you tell them there's 3, they're like, "What?" But they make stickers with just this on there, right? They don't have, they need to make stickers with this one over here, Building 7,
right?
With the 47 floors. Let me go to, since we're talking about Netanyahu and where's that? I got a little note from an Anon. Here we got 9/11. How are they connected? How is 9/11 connected? Epstein, 9/11, Pizzagate, JFK, RFK, COVID, genocide, CIA, Mossad, central casting.
6 points.
That's right. So who owns central casting? Right there.
You could add much more, but yeah, go ahead, Mr. Dog.
No, I was just saying that's who owns Central Casting.
CIA. Oh, this is what we're talking about.
45, 47 equals 9/11, right? We've talked about that in the past. Love always slaves.
Yep.
Okay. The most recent thing that we shared was 18 U.S. Code 9/11. You are not a U.S. citizen. If you are, you're going to go to jail for 3 years and face fines up to $10,000.
Yeah. So Iran hasn't attacked a country since 1789. I believe that's the date that we just read in the book the other day. But here we got Iran has proposed to the United States the idea of a nuclear-free Middle East, calling for the complete denuclearization of Israel as part of the path plan. So they want, if they're going to do it, them first, right? But Israel does not,
Right.
or Netanyahu does not want that to take place. He wants World War III. He wants to kill more people to take more land.
They want to get rid of Iran because I have this in the book, The Language Crystal. It tells you why. Because it breaks down who really had the rights to the land. That's why. They have the documentation.
Well, imagine that, sheepdog. There's how many films right there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 movies.
It's 15 movies actor Trump played in.
He's on Days of Our Lives as well, soap opera.
Wow.
Was he really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just don't know what to say anymore about that whole piece. I mean, these actors and actresses are still being taken as literal power heads when they really don't have any power. They're just carrying out a narrative that's put forth by the secret societies, which the majority of people know who these secret societies are. Some of us just choose to ignore them because they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. You know, they don't want to let go of what they're holding on to, and that's the gist of it. Y'all know this. You got to forget everything you once knew and learn everything you should know, and it's all within you already.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chief Dog.
I'll just what's up on screen. Everybody can read that. Well, Mr. Dove, remind me to play. I got to play this. Let me go back up here. I got to show something real quick before I keep getting sidetracked because I got a lot of stuff to show. But so this was one of the seal accounts on X. As you can see, this looks more kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? But they were speaking language again. But this is from Jonathan Gilliam on X. He says, so let me get this straight. You two flew to Miami on taxpayer dime to take credit for an arrest that was carried out by the Department of Homeland Security and the Coast Guard and not the DOJ. So while you were there, you stopped by the FBI memorial of the 4 fallen agents, but instead of posting pics of the 4 agents or posting and telling the heroic story of how they were killed, you all decided to post a filtered pic of yourselves? Cringe. This has all the hallmarks of people on Instagram who upload a selfie of themselves in a bikini on Memorial Day with a post saying, remember those who have fallen. This is not transparency. It's a performance. They're actors.
Evers?
Yep.
I'm still waiting for the TikTok videos to show up when everybody's showing if they got a belly button or not.
That would be a good one.
Yeah. Y'all would be amazed at how many people don't have a belly button.
I cover mine up just to mess with them. It's like, oh shit. So the Israeli governments were established by the Satanic Rothschilds, as was the state of Israel in 1948. And therefore, Israel from the Middle East was never an ally of America. Quite the opposite. Enemy number one, actually. Those who try to defend the Israeli government as a cover are just as much of an enemy as they are. And as an anon, I am obligated to bring the truth, no matter how hard it hits the ears, and especially the eyes. Do your own research, and you will discover how deep the rabbit hole is. There are more traitors than you actually think, folks. And that's coming from this anon right here, which is a pretty big step in the awakening, is to realize, why is Netanyahu being brought forward so much in all this, right? He was the first one invited to the White House, et cetera, et cetera. Trump pushed his chair in. But 9/11 connected. All right. I found a site, and that's probably what I'll do every day. I found this site today. This is Mount Moriah, Pennsylvania. Oh, damn it. That's not a good picture. This is Mount Moriah, Pennsylvania. This is in a cemetery. And there's a lot of people buried here, and this is where they hide most of your history. The older cemeteries, you see the structures. Some of them look like plantations, old plantations or something like that. But a lot is hidden in these cemeteries. And there's, as you can see right here, this is a castle. Part of a castle, what's left over from maybe hundreds, if not thousand years. But I looked into the Bible what Mount Moriah actually is. And Mount Moriah, Pennsylvania, hidden history. 2 Chronicles 3:1, Solomon builds the house of the Lord in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where God had appeared to his father David. Also, the Temple Mount. Mount Moriah is traditionally identified with the Temple Mount and Jerusalem, the site of both the first and second temples. David's threshing floor. David bought a thresh floor in Mount Moriah, which later became the site for the temple. Abraham's sacrifice. The story of Abraham's near sacrifice of Isaac on Mount Moriah is a pivotal event in biblical history, highlighting God's test of Abraham's faith and his ultimate provision of a ram as a substitute, which the ram is up high in your mind, right? High ram. Significance. Mount Moriah is a place of great religious significance for Jews, Christians, and Muslims, serving as a reminder of God's power, provision, and covenant with humanity. Now, the point of this reading that was to point out the fact that it just mentioned that Mount Moriah was a place for Jews, Muslims, and Christians, right? So then we go down to who's buried at the cemetery. Guess who's buried at the cemetery in Pennsylvania? Jews and Muslims and Native Americans in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, right outside. So this is Mount Moriah Cemetery is what they call it. So what are the odds? Does anybody know that people were living here in peace like that? Jews, Muslims, and different.
Yeah, and Tartaria, they all lived amongst each other in peace, and they had their own little communities, right? But they all worked together in harmony. Yep.
So this Mount Moriah matches Scripture and what it was traditionally for. So the point is, it's not just this could be a biblical spot. Hidden history. See right there, the cemetery in front, all around it. I've been to some of these in South Carolina. Here's another castle in Pennsylvania. I found a history that nobody talks about right up the road from that. Right here is what we talk about, Santos Bonacci, right? We're talking about the halos, and this is just said they had the knowledge of the universe, right? The man, it is astrology, right? That's why you have the 4 points. This is March, summer solstice, fall, winter solstice. That's what this for. And then you see the pyramid up, pyramid down, the crown. This is purple when you reach the highest of highs, right? With the knowledge. That's what all these represent. But this is the golden halos around the heads refer to their being bathed in the glory of the sun. Okay. And also to the fact that a spiritual sun within their own natures is radiating its glow ray, Glowray, instead of Glory. It's pronounced the same, glow ray or glow ray. And surrounding them with the celestial splendor. And this is the cosmic womb right here. Mother. It's always, you see this is always the mother. This is what we all come through right here, the portal. Oh, that's 6. Well, I'll play that. What? How long we got? What we got? Where we at? How much time we in, Mike?
We're in an hour and 51 minutes, man. You can take all the time you need, Doug.
Okay.
I see where you sent me the piece I was looking for earlier, and I want to get back and read that too.
All right.
Certainly not here to protect you. They're here to protect
somebody. That's not loud. We'll have to.
It certainly isn't the average American's interest. And that's actually been.
I'll have to get back to that in the sheepdog. I got to get it, fix that volume on that.
That was a good one, but
accept Christ as your savior, accept Jesus as your savior and accept Christ into your heart. And I don't think they really understand what they're saying half the time, because a lot of Christians believe that Christ is an actual man that became God. And the reason that they want you to believe that Jesus is your savior is because it's principles. It's all about principles. You just have to believe. You have to believe that you're saved, and you're saved because you accepted Christ into your heart. That's it. But they don't explain it further than that. There's no philosophical or scientific explanation for what all that really means. And see, I'm an analytical person, so I like to know what people mean when they say things. And so, all my experience and studying and traveling the world and everything, what I came to know is that the person teaching these things like do not kill, turn the other cheek, love your neighbor, that kind of stuff, that's common sense. Okay, we didn't need any man or God to tell us these things. You either know not to do those things or you don't. And so when you're born into the world, it's written into your DNA. And that's what it means when they say you either have the mark of God or you have the mark of the beast. You can't go around saving people if they don't understand the difference between being a compassionate person and being a lost soul that just doesn't have any empathy, that doesn't understand what you actually are. Those kind of people are going to suffer. And that's what it's all about. That's what being saved is all about. You're being saved from suffering. So, of course, the church, shifted, switched all that stuff around to be, oh, Jesus died on the cross and suffered for you, for your sins. But the Christ, or the I am, which is what Jesus represents himself, suffers because we sin, in that we do things that are not in alignment with the harmonic resonance, which is what love is. You either do things that are compassionate, that resonate, that it's shareable. It's shareable versus it's stagnant energy that is not sustainable. So you either do that or you don't. No one can save you if you don't know the difference. And knowing the difference is gnosis. That's what it means to know. So the Gnostic teachings were about that. They came before the Christians, and they were wiped out because they had this knowledge of self. Originally, the Hindus had these teachings and taught these things to the masses. And that's the information that this person called Jesus was teaching. His name was Yeshua or Eshu or Asus. And it just means I am salvation. So, we're told to say the Lord's name and to not say it in vain. So what do you think that means? You say the Lord's name. What is the Lord's name? I am. So they were saying, you are supposed to be saying, I am that I am. It means you have removed your personality and identity. You don't cling to that anymore. You've become self-actualized and you live from compassion. Why? Because it feels better and it works better. If you don't live from compassion, you suffer and you cause suffering for other people. So knowledge and compassion are crucial for a human being because we have higher thinking. We have the ability to access higher thought processes or more abstract thought processes. Therefore, we can be very dangerous creatures, or we can be loving, beautiful, constructive beings. And the fact that in history you see so many signs that there were these massive, beautiful civilizations that had no sign of warfare, that should show you that we once did live in that state and we can return to that once again. That's where we're at right now. We're at the cusp of the Bronze Age, moving back into the Golden Ages. And anyone who does not operate from compassion doesn't make it into that world, into that reality.
That's it. 10-4 on that.
Right on.
Yeah, that was a great breakdown.
I am who I am, not who you think I am, and not who you want me to be. I am me.
Me. Which is kind of like the public service message, right? From Chief Pontiac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Enforcement, civil officers.
Oh, no, that one's low.
Including.
I want to play that later. All right. I think we're good, Mike. I think we went over quite a few things today. Hope that helped. We'll cover Easter tomorrow.
Absolutely, and then we'll get to slaying the dragon Thursday and finish it up on Sunday. That's where a lot of us are at, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead, Chief Dog.
This is from the Apocrypha. This is from Revelations of Elijah, chapter 1, verse 17 through 21. And I wanted to point out the fact that fasting in the Apocrypha, it says it heals diseases right here. And not only does it also releases sin and it casts out demons.
Yes.
This is the one who fasts continually will not sin, although jealousy and strife are within him. Let the pure one fast. But whenever the one who fasts is not pure, he has angered the Lord and also the messengers. All right. And he has grieved his soul, gathering up wrath for himself for the day of wrath. But a pure fast is what I created, with a pure heart and pure hands. It releases sin and it heals diseases. It casts out demons. It is effective up to the throne of God for an anointment and for a release from sin by means, and it continues about fasting, but I wanted to point out it heals diseases. This is in the Apocrypha Revelations of Elijah, chapter 1.
It's also in the Gospel of Essenes how Jesus cast out demons.
It no doubt works, guys. Fasting definitely works, but it comes with meditation and or prayer or both, right?
Yes.
You have to go within when your body is as neutral as it is when you're fasting. It's the perfect time to listen to it and to talk to it, because the response you'll get is not only that of healing, but of knowledge too that has been hidden from you, because it opens those veins of to release the knowledge. It's truly a very enlightening experience.
So it didn't start with gas chambers. It started with one party controlling the media, one party controlling the message, one party deciding what is truth, one party censoring speech and controlling the opposition, one party dividing citizens into Republican versus Democrat, us versus them, MAGA versus liberals, and calling on their supporters to harass them. It started when good people turned a blind eye and let it happen. That's where we're at right now.
That's right.
Compliance. This is why the
we
left
don't win that way. We'll never win that way.
Yes, Gandalf's got me on this one. If you buy too many engine parts and cannot afford to tab at the grocery, is that still fasting? Asking for a gearhead friend, right? Guys, fasting is getting off of the engine parts too, right? I mean, it's not just food, right?
That's right.
Suppose coffee is one of your things, or if you fast from coffee, that's fasting too. But we're talking about fasting, which is disciplining the flesh and blood to come center, right? More neutral, right? Yeah, it's called an octane fast, right? And the opportunity opens up for you to learn and heal. All right, to learn more about yourself, bring yourself more into an awakening, and actually heal, because again, the vibration and frequency that is in your bloodstream when you come center completely changes from negative or positive, depending on which has affected you most when you're fasting. Yeah. So here we are. We're all definitely at a time where this great shaking is going to happen for many of us, and some of it's already happened for some of us as well. I can say that I've been through a great shaking. I believe the sheepdogs can say that. And there's many others that I talked to on telephone that would be right there with me. And each experience is unique. Just recognize the things and the actions that you can take with the knowledge that you have to better yourself and climb Jacob's ladder, right? You want the crown chakra, right? You want the heart chakra to be the brightest light. I said that kind of backwards to begin with, but the brightest light about you. And that'll create balance, right? Mind, body, and soul. It's perfect. It's in a perfect alignment. Make no mistake. The Creator made no mistakes when they created us, right? It's a thing of beauty, a thing of love, and it's a thing of passion for life and life only. not evil, not death, none of that. It's eternal and infinite, right? With that being said, go ahead, shoot dog.
No, I was just going to say, don't worry about saying that backwards. Pam Bondi said J-O-D.
Right.
Right.
Well, there's no QFS Redemption Center. I don't know why y'all. I mean, nothing. If you want to believe that narrative, please do. But please manage your expectations. There is no such thing as a QFS Redemption Center. All right.
The redemption spiritual. That was
yes,
how they.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are the quantum. Yeah, you are the quantum computer. You are the quantum financial system. It's you. It's not a building, just like the church.
Right, and so your DNA when you activate,
it
gets activated when you know who you are.
When you become the true man.
There you go.
That's it.
Realize what Satan had set up, the illusion that was, and the veil is lifted, and you say, aha, it's the solar flash. Solar plexus. It's a soul.
Right, when you take your labels off, right? You're standing there naked, right? You're just, you are who you are. That's it.
Shit. Not again. Yeah,
but go ahead, sheepdog.
Oh, I'm good. That was it. I was just saying you're right. I'm just talking to sheepdog.
Right. So Miss Sheepdog posted the page 205 from the Language Crystal, and here's what it says. I think it's pretty important as we wrap up tonight. Moses, enchanted by the name of Ramses or Ra-Moses, rendered Egypt spellbound. And Jesus asked above all things that we recall his name, but the names of Moses, which means to draw out, and the name of Jesus, which means Savior, as far back as we remember ourselves, mothers have given us our names to live up to, and our fathers were familiarized by names. Our names accent identities to realize our own individuality. For only an individual ever finds salvation. We are not saved in groups. Each person dies alone, even if in a crowded place. No one eats for you. No other drives you to consume. Salvation is a saving grace. And only you can save, for the Savior lives in all who will save the earth. Let me say that again. For the Savior lives in all who will save the earth. Armageddon was a war of nations, which was in fact a war of words. Muslims opposed Judeo-Christians in a struggle for conscious love of the female principle. Judeo-Christians evolved to the spiritualization of monogamy. Muslims evolved to the position of not drinking alcohol. Each surpassed the other. These laws were not observed by individuals in every case. Yet the water that Jesus changed to wine at the wedding feast was basic to the run or to the unconscious aspect of our food metaphor. Making changes in your habits, you can change the world. You need not take a different name. What counts is what you do. Practice all the bio rules. Other people's words will contain magic that will work for you. Listen to what other people say rather than what they meant to say. See their words as functions of biology, and the truth will set you free. if you'll notice how I explained the words, it started in on names. Ra, Moses, right? And Jesus, which didn't exist as the name, as the real name of the Messiah. We know this because J wasn't in the alphabet during Yeshua's reign. Okay, and he didn't reign, folks. He liberated. He liberated. All right. Through that liberation is how the grave was defeated. Right? Because death is in our mind. It's something that we were not promised from creation, but eternal life, right? Listen to the words that other people are saying. They meant to, rather than what they meant to say. See the words as function of biology, and the truth will set you free. That is page 205 of the Language Crystal. It's a huge discernment tool, folks. Check it out. Okay. With that, I just want to let you all know, I just want to let you all know that love you all, appreciate all the kind words and love and support. As we continue to move forward, make sure you're paying attention to your body, okay? Where your soul is telling you through your body what it needs. Make no mistake, it's your soul that has eternal life. Where your flesh and blood, some people call it a meat suit, is the clothing of your soul. Let that higher version of yourself show through, and people will see both your aura of your soul and the light that shines through it in your flesh and blood. It's eternal. Love you all. Hope you have a great night.
Not everyone.